Yeah, the first of two bike classes today. Like Frankie said, Clubmans, classic and breakfast run motorcycles. And that's all from the Motorcycle Club of Cape Town. We had in the studio the other night on the Second Gear Talk Show, Wayne Arends. Smile from ear to ear for him, a big bike man. Big bike man. And, well, they're going to be relishing. Still. Yeah. Cool.
I'll put mine there.
Perfect. All right, so then we wait and see. The red light is still on in the pit lane. We'll wait then. Of course, they'll have two 8-lap races later on. And I know the Superbikes will be having 10-lap races. And those will be something to behold as well. But we'll go off there for a short while whilst we wait here for the bikes to get going.
A stint as well. Every class today will be doing 2 heats, except for the Beta Trustees Fine Cars. They will be doing a 3rd heat. So it's going to be awesome fun today. It's great to be back at Glen International Raceway, the home of the Western Province Motor Club. But Byron, sadly, once again, the stands are empty. Well, it's part of the times. I remember when we came back in August last year, Gary, Francois, and myself, and we saw 37 Clubmans cars squirted out of turn 3, and those blue stands at the back was completely empty. Not a lovely picture, but yeah, the vaccines are now beginning to arrive in this country and worldwide. So hopefully, in the not too distant future, we'll be able to allow a certain amount of public back at our motorsport events. Let's just hold thumbs and pray that that does head in that direction.
Well, I see now the reason for the delay. There's a looks like an Austin Healey on the way back to the pits on the flatbed, and I see the fire bucky is also out there, and hence we are waiting, of course, for them to come into the pits, and we'll get the bikes going out for their run. The red light will still be on. A handful of bikers, of course. This is usually the class where a lot of your newcomers come, the breakfast run guys and girls that have been, you know, with the breakfast run clubs and everything like that. This is now where they work their way up on maybe a few classic machines like we've seen in the past as well. We've seen now they come out. You'll see a few of them have bibs on as well. That will be rookies. So first timers out here at Killarney, and it's always great to see a whole bunch of rookies out there, newcomers to the sport.
Well, we see them filter out the pit lane. Remember, all the newcomers will be riding with the bibs on, and that's basically your entire breakfast run class. There was only 5 names that was on the list by Thursday evening for the breakfast run boys, and they are pretty much all rookies. They graduate from the bike school, and to make them better riders out on the public roads, and then they work their way onto the circuit, and then they become full-time racers here at the WPMC. Well, the last we heard from Mr. Wayne Arends, he was on Gary Fleming's Second Gear Talk Show on Thursday evening. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening between 8 and 9, Gary hosts the Second Gear Talk Show, and Wayne was saying that there was approximately 39 to 40 Clubmans A and B classics and breakfast bikes that will be taking part today.
Lovely noise down the back straight, and well, the wind is up today, Frankie. We're sitting here in the commentary box getting quite a bit of a gust of wind from the southeast, so that's going to affect them down the back straight as well as they head slightly into that wind. Hilton Redlinger of the classic bikes is out now. They've done their sighting lap now. The first flying laps will start in this qualifying session, and we're talking, I think, here about 15 minutes as Redlinger and they all come across now.
Well, I was just having a look at see that number 7 bike is out there, Mr. Michael Latoya, a man that originally came from Worcester. He's now living out in Cape Town in Bellville. I had a chat to Michael on the phone yesterday. He gave me a call saying that he's all excited and all wired for this event. He's bought the Brandon Brandor, the old number 80 machine. So it's a brand new motorcycle for Michael Latoya. and he wants to go out there today and basically get the feeling of the bike. He was down there yesterday with the practice sessions, and he said to me the bike was handling pretty well, but obviously he wants to get the feel of the bike under official race conditions.
I think a lot of new, not only a lot of new riders, but a lot of new bikes as well, and first-time racing bikes. I see coming across the line now is Nasheed Smart, and he is a 1:19.581. That's of course pole position provisionally in Class A at the moment. Hilton Redlinger is a 1:23.45, and that's on the Kawasaki ZX7R Go Show Racing. Hilton Redlinger is only 2 classic superbikes out there, Frankie. The other one being John Kosterman, an old name here at Killarney, on the Suzuki GSXR 1100.
Out there with the Kawasaki, the Go Show Racing outfit, and then the number 81 Suzuki GSXR 1100 of John Kosterman. There are the 2 classic bikes out there, but we'll have a look with the Clubmans A and B bikes. That's where all the action is. So we'll have a look and see as the timing screen rolls by. Every bike has done at least 1 lap out there so far. Nasif Smart has done a 1:19.581. He is the fastest man so far. There is 6 minutes left to go in the 10-minute qualifying session. The 87 bike has gone into turn 1. That's Hilton Redlinger. No, yes it is Hilton Redlinger in the old ZX7 Kawasaki. Wow, look at that. Dylan Crowdace. He's the quickest man out there. He's done a 1:18.918. So Dylan Crowdace so far is the fastest rider out there. And 24 bikes have come out. There was 39 that had entered. So far, 24 of them out on the track. But the Wayne Arden being a personal best of a 19.155, and Johan Eberl also doing a 1:19 as well. So Byron, the guys, the tires are coming down as they've got to bed this track in again. Remember the last time we had a race event here was, I think, the 2nd week of December when we had the 9 hours. So this track is very green. It needs to be bedded in once again.
No, you'll find as the race day goes on that will happen, and Dylan Crowdace, who's on provisional pole for Class A and overall, the only Italian bike in this entire field of riders this weekend. I actually speak under correction there. I'll take a look on the Ducati 899 Panigale, the Golden Circle racing machine. We'll look now at the times will be quite spread out here, of course, because we have different classes. I see Wayne Aronser has gone provisional pole position in the Clubman's Class A machine, and Dylan Crowdace will be in second. Nasheed Smart, and I'll try and get all the various classes for you as well. Remember, Class B being the biggest class here today as far as the Clubman's bikes are concerned, but I see in the classic Hilton Redlinger, Wayne Aronser on pole in Class A, and Hein Krusser in Class B is provisional pole position at the moment. I think the Breakfast Clubs, I think it's only Jamie Hall will be 21st overall, but pole in the Breakfast Club class.
Yeah, Wayne Aronser doing a 1:18.045. He's the fastest man out there. Dylan Crowdace, Nassim Smart, Zubair Adams, Hilton Redlinger, Dion Eberl, Sean Maxwell, Robbie Padrica out there. Michael DeToy is just out of the top 10 so far. So he's obviously getting used to that new machine. Michael is in a P11. He's done a 1:22.069. So he's 1 position out the top 10. Hopefully Mike will get that machine of his into the top 10.
Yeah, so always a great number of bikes out there as well. Willem Binnedel is on the Triumph Daytona 675. He'll be in the Breakfast Club, the Clubman's Class A class, Willem Binnedel. And, well, I see Wayne Orenson still holding his own there at the front, an 18-0 for him. I see though that looks like Crowd Ace has got back up on the Ducati on the provisional pole position, 3/10 of a second ahead of Orenson.
Yeah, he's one of the top riders out there. And what's pretty interesting to me is the fact that Willem Binnendal finds himself down in P10. Just a personal best now on the track for Michael de Toy. And Mike still finds himself out there in P11. So Binnendal should be on the front row of the grid. He finds himself in 10th place. So, yeah, he's done a 121 compared to Wayne Arenson's 118. So, a bit of work to do there for Willem Binnendal.
Well, that looks like the qualifying session will be over. Donovan Stevens taking the last place in the Clubmans Class B in 20th position. I see, well, Willem Binnendal looks like on the Triumph has actually increased and improved his position in Class A. A big Class A. On the one screen, though, is Crowd Ace that still holds the top spot from Orenson, but Padrika looks like he came up as well through there. But this will be the checkered flag lap now, and their 10 minutes of qualifying practice will be over. Dylan Crowd Ace, I see now finally the 76 Ducati, a 118.035 after 6 laps. And fast through all the sectors with Wayne Orenson falling down. And I think what happens is we're talking about 1.140 seconds between the Kawasaki of Orenson in second position and the Ducati in the provisional pole position. Well, now will be pole position because it is the end of the session. Dion Ebel will be the number 3 bike out there at this time. I'll see now as that will be Clubman's Class A, and I think because we're just trying to spot Ebel, I know it was Dave Abrams coming up here and pointing out there that he was 3rd on the timing sheets.
Well, Willem Binnendal, we were saying, yeah, he's only out there in P10. Well, he's not on the ZX6, he's on a Triumph 675, so to put that machine out there in the top 10 is very, very well done for Willem Binnendal. I'm sure as the day goes on, he'll do a lot better. Michael de Toy has done a 121 odd. He's just out of the top 10 in P11, but then again, also riding a brand new motorcycle, so he needs to get the feel of that bike. But well done to Dylan Crodas. He is the man that's done a 118.035 and demoting the chairman of the club, Wayne Orenson, into that second position on the grid. So yeah, it's going to be entertaining stuff when the motorcycles come out there. The Suzuki South regional motorcycles, when they do come out there for their racing, especially Clubman's A and B, classic and breakfast run bikes. It's going to be entertaining to say the least out there the moment these guys come out for their opening race.
I see Hilton Redlingays here. I know Tiny was pointing on the screen. He's one of the top of the classic bikes, the ZX7 Kawasaki. He is 6th position on the grid and is less than 2 seconds off of a pole. First time back since 2 or 3 years we're talking about now, as Emil Tiny Brunt points out to us here. Remember Tiny's Pit Box? See it on Facebook, and you'll be able to follow everything here at Killarney today.
Well, Gareth Agnew is the chief Mackie on that ZX7R Kawasaki, the classic bike of Hilton Redlingays of the Go Show Racing team. So a big welcome back to Hilton Redlingays and John Kosterman as well. Last year we never had one classic bike out on the grid, at least for 2021. We're starting off positive with 2 classic bikes out there on the grid.
Well, after the clean-up, we finally got the bikes coming out now, and that will be the Suzuki South Clubmans Classics Class A and Class B. Class A and Class B, the ones, of course, that's the big classes here today. And we overrun, I know in the Superbikes as well, there's a lot of Kawasaki's out there, but we do have Dylan Crowdace, who held pole for a short while. He's on the Ducati Panigale. And then I'll take a look over here as well. Who was on the Triumph again? That was Willem Binnendal on the Daytona Triumph 676. Always great to see some of the different bikes. Because most of your bikes are always your Japanese makes, your Kawasaki's, your Yamahas, your Hondas. But well, they'll be going out there for their 2 sighting laps before lining up on the grid. Of course, it's funny, Frankie. You know, we saw a lot of cleanup around the circuit, but it's always before a bike race that some oil gets put down, and that's always a big thing. You know, we all roll our eyes a little bit at that. It's like, whoa, man. Do they have to do it now, you know, dump the oil down before the bike races?
Yeah, no, it does tend to work that way. It's just the way things goes, unfortunately. But as the bikes roll out, I want to say a big thanks to 888 Motorcycles, and that is the people that are sponsoring Hilton Railing Race. That's Gareth Agnew and the guys of 888 Motorcycles. A big thanks to Gareth. To my knowledge, Gareth is not at the track today. He's got other commitments, but we'd like to say big thanks to him on his contact number 065 901 0566 to Gareth Agnew for all the work he's done on Hilton Railing Race. He's been out the sport for a good couple of years. I think 2, 3, maybe 4 years he's been away from the track. And we welcome Hilton back, and he's one of 2 classic motorcycles out there today. Joining him on the track in that class will be John Kosterman, and it's lovely to see that the classic guys are picking up, Byron. Last year we had Clubmans A, B and breakfast bikes. We never had one classic motorcycle out there as far as I can remember, especially, no, we never, because we came back in August until the end of the year, and during that period of time there was no classic bikes at all. At least we got 2 of them, the 87 of Hilton Railing Race and the 81 of John Kosterman. And Hilton has qualified first in class and right up there amongst the Clubman's Class A riders.
You know, it's amazing, Frankie. A number of years ago, we still had Tony Jones that used to bring some great classics to Killarney.
Yes, yeah.
I remember the Kajiva Alazura that he had. Pantagar Ducati was one of his bikes out there as well. Unfortunately, I see more of Tony on Facebook than at a racing circuit. But what happens is hopefully we can grow that classic bike class over the race events. Remember, as the races go on, they will do so, hopefully. But we wait now. It's going to be Dylan Crowdace that will be the man on pole position. I see the 71 bike that's pulling into position of Mitch Robertson on the EBR 1190RX.
Yeah, lovely to see Mitch Robertson and Peter Hill that's up here in the Clubman's class. They race short circuit and they raced in the Power Sport 300 class last season. They've moved up now into Clubman's Class B, as well as Robin DeVos. That's another rider, Robin DeVos, that does short circuit riding. It's also now progressed into the Clubman's Class B. So great to see these guys coming through. There's the chairman of the motorcycle club. He sits in P2, Mr. Wayne Aronser. Dion Ebel sits on his outside in the 21. I see a bit further down as Dylan Crodas puts the number 76 motorcycle right up there in P number 1. Robbie Padrika's a bit further down with the number 17. Looking right behind him, we see the number 7 there of Michael DeToy. The guys are all focused, and we're about to get this one ready underway shortly. We're waiting now for the 5-second board to go up, then lights on, lights off, and we'll be away with this one. The lights are on, the lights go off, and away we go. And what a lovely start down the center there by the man on bike number 62. That's Beer Adams. What a launch off the line there by Adams as he turns into turn 1 KFM corner. He's got Dylan Crodas sitting in there behind him, but what a launch there by Zubair Adams as Crodas sits on his outside. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? That's going to be Zubair Adams that dips it in there into turn 2. As he's got Crodas in there behind him. Dion Ebel has lost a position or 2 as they go flying through the kink and racing down hard into turn number 3.
Yeah, out of turn 3, they come onto the KFM straight. So Crowders, I think he made it almost back up again into Ducati. He's still second at the moment. Orense had fallen down, and Ebel as well. But Adams, like Frankie's saying, a lightning start as they go through the double apex right-hander at turn 4, Car Care Clinic. Onto the back straight now. He'll get into the slipstream. Is going to be Crowders, and they'll make their way up to turn 5. And I see Wayne Orense is going towards turn 5 now. He might get second position. Let's see them as they go into the turn. He might have grabbed the lead, as a matter of fact, as they come right out now onto the main straight. We'll look at them as they come through now. Is it the colourful bike? Is it going to be across the line now? We'll see the gaps between them. It is indeed Wayne Orense as they cross the line. And what happens is it's Adams in second, Grades in third, and then Ebel down in a fourth position. Redlingace having fallen down as well.
Well, I'll tell you what a lovely start there by Zubair Adams, but down into turn 5, fast run corner. It is Wayne Orense that hits the lead there. And Dylan Crodas comes right back again. Crodas moves up there into that second position. It's a hell of a dogfight going on out. Oh, they touch you. There's almost a massive collision coming out of turn number 2. Wow, these boys are leaving it all out there on the track. They're racing these things as hard as they can as they work their way out of turn number 3. Dion Earbal's in that group as well. And so is Crodas that sits there in that second place, but leading them out of turn 4, Car Care Clinic, is race leader Wayne Orense.
Down the back straight at 27.9 in the first sector for Dylan Crodas. And that is in Clubmans Class A, Hilton Redlingace. He leads the Classics class on the ZX7. They go now down into turn 5, Fastron corner. And what happens is they'll make their way around there as well. Wayne Orense will still lead on the ZX10. Dylan Crodas, he's now made a second sector. He's going to make a fastest lap over here. We'll see them as they come across in the Panigale. Dion Ebel in fourth position. Nashim Smart behind him. Behind him, though, is the big stuff that's going on over here as well. I think that is number 62 that has just made his way past now on the straight as they go into turn 1 once more again. And we'll see here a Wayne Orense, a 1:18.187. He just steals the fastest lap away.
Watch the 126 bike there, the Kawasaki of Sean Mackerel. That's making his way through the field as well. He's dipping it now into turn number 2. That's Mackerel on the number 126 Kawasaki. He's busy making his way through and cutting and carving his way through the field. However, the leaders are working their way out of turn number 3. What a dice up front. There we go. It's Wayne Orense versus Dylan Crodas into turn 4, Car Care Clinic corner. Out of turn 4 they come now. They'll go up the gearbox as they run down the back main. Crodas sits right in the slipstream there of Orense. And then Nassif Smart. Nassif Smart is busy making his way through, and I think, Byron, he has moved up now into that third position.
Yeah, he was against past Zubair Adams. They go into turn 5. Fastron corner now. Now get the medal down. Open the throttle up as we go across the line. It was 7/10 the last time around. It's going to be much closer here between Orense and Crodas. It is going to be 0.2 of a second as Dion Ebel and Mackerel gets fastest lap at the moment, a 1:17.555.
Yeah, and Ebel just made his way past Mackerel, and Mackerel is the quickest guy out there, as you were saying, Byron. 1:17.555. by the number 126 Kawasaki of Sean Mackerel. And Mackerel sits there in that, I think he sits there in P5. Yes, he does. He's in P5. Ahead of him is Dion Ebel. Then it's Nassif Smart that sits out there in that third place. And Dion Ebel is all over the back of him as they work their way out of turn number 3. Then there's a bit of a gap as they squirted up the KFM straight into turn number 4. Into Car Care Clinic corner. The leaders are heading out of turn 4 down the back main. Wayne Orense has been hassled and mugged there by second place man Dylan Crodas.
Watch Dion Ebel on the Honda. He's the leading Honda. He goes down the back straight now towards turn 5, Fastron corner, and then he should take third place right away. We'll watch them as they go in 2 fantastic battles here for first, second, third, and fourth at this time. I see here Wayne Orense takes a look behind him now as well as they go across to the line. Now it's got 0.2 of a second the last time around. There is now a mere, it's going to be, okay, it's 0.3 of a second between them. Ebel goes up into third, Smart down. Mackerel is up into 5th position there, Frankie, as well. I think he holds on to the fastest lap still, so he hasn't been bettered.
Yeah, he made the move there on Zubair Adams, as they head into turn 1 KFM corner, but the leaders are now working their way into turn number 2. Out of turn 2, the leaders go now, working out of turn 2. It is Wayne Arendse from Dylan Crodas. Third position is Dion Ebel. Right behind Dion Ebel is Nassif Smart, heading down there into turn number 3. Then it is Mackerel, and behind Mackerel it is Zubair Adams. That is the main contenders working up the KFM straight now into Car Care Clinic. That's turn number 4. Out of turn 4, down the back main, and still Crodas, Byron. He's right on the back wheel of Wayne Arendse.
Watch him go down the back straight. Class B leader is Mitch Robinson at this time. And I think now there's a few bikes going to be lapped very soon. So Mitch Robinson, he's a leader in Class B on the EBR. Garth Livingston just right behind him as well, the other Class B. But right now, Frankie, they're going to come towards the line to start the next lap of this race, lap 5, as they come across the line towards turn 1. Wayne Arendse still holding his own, having the race of his life.
And another quickest lap there by Sean Mackerel, 1:17.459 by Sean Mackerel, man. And this man is sitting in P3 now, I think. Yes, he's moving up through the field. He's a Sean Mackerel, but the leaders are making their way through the kink and heading into turn number 3. And they are right there, one behind each other. Out of turn 3 now they go, working their way up the KFM straight. And down into turn number 4, we've got a new leader. Into turn 4, Car Care Clinic corner, Dylan Crodas has stolen the lead away there from Wayne Arendse.
Unfortunately, it just been notified that Faisal Mohammed on the GSXR 600 Suzuki is out of the race, unfortunately. So that now is going to leave now less than... What happens is less than 22 now left in the race. Remember, Frankie, we look now at Mackerel. He was 9/10 of a second on the last lap coming around. He put in that extra fastest lap now. I can see Dylan Crodas has now gone fastest in Sector 2 on the Panigale. There's 3/10 of a second between him and Wayne Arendse. They'll cross the line. And look how close they are.
Well, he took that lead away there from Wayne Arendse, but on the line, Wayne Arendse takes that lead away again from Dylan Crodas. So there's nothing there between the two of them, between Arendse and Crodas. There's 300ths of a second between Arendse and Crodas as they dip it into turn 2. Dion Ebel sits out there in that third position. He's got Nassif Smart right in there behind him, being hassled there by Sean Mackerel. Through the kink, those 3 run. That's the dice for 3, 4, and 5, working its way out of turn 3.
Yeah, Arendse and Crodas trading sector times over there. I think Crodas was fastest in Sector 2, and then Arendse answered him in Sector 3. They come through now, turn 4 onto the back straight. They're a class of their own, looks like it now. It looks like third place is now making away, but Sean Mackerel will make it past now Dion Ebel on the back straight. They go into turn 5, Fastron corner. They'll make their way in there, and the green Kawasaki is now up into 4th, and Mackerel smells himself a podium place.
Well, I'm looking a bit further down in P7, and leading the classics is Hilton Redlinghuis, and it's a lovely return there by Hilton Redlinghuis as the leaders head back down into turn 1 KFM corner. Man, what a war we've got out there between these first 5 as they exit turn 1 KFM, make their way up the Joubert straight towards turn 2. Into turn 2 they come now. There's a back marker that's making his way through the kink, and these guys will be picking him up pretty soon. Wayne Arendse followed by Crodas. Crodas was a lot quicker out of turn number 2 as they run down into turn number 3. Then Dion Ebel sits out there in P3. He's been mugged there by Sean Mackerel. Mackerel wants to have a serious look at him as they work their way into turn 4 Car Care Clinic.
Well, look now as well. I see Hein Krusser comes across the line now on the Honda, but the leader in the breakfast run class, Jamie Hall on the Honda CBR 600. So that's the leader again of Sameku. And while we go now into the where the leaders are now at the moment, it was now between Wayne Arendse and Dylan Crodas. It was only like 300ths of a second at one stage, and they're still keeping it going. The fastest lap hasn't dropped any more now as they cross the line. and go towards, oh, there we go. So it looks like Mackerel has gone to a 16.8, Frankie, a 16.8 on the Kawasaki ZX-10R.
What a right out there by Sean Mackerel as the checkered flag has come out. We never even realized that checkered flag has come out. What a race that was. And brilliant stuff out there. Wayne Arendse brought it home in P1. Dylan Crodas finished in second. And Sean Mackerel made it up into that third place, beating Dion Eerbal and the quickest man out there in a 1:16.836. That's your top three across the line. Dion Eerbal finished there in that fourth position. Man, that was brilliant. Then Nassif Smart finished off in P5. Zubair Adams in P6, P7 was Hilton Redlinghuis. Hilton was the first of the two classic bikes, and then in P8, the man now from Belleville, Mr. Michael De Toy, on the new machine that he has purchased for 2021. Man, that was brilliant stuff out there. And Mitch Robinson, well done Mitch, he came home in P1 in the Clubmans Class B.
Yeah, it's some good subscribed classes here, the Clubmans classes, and well, Sean Mackerel, I still am amazed by his quick time there, 16.836, and just missing out, unfortunately for him, on the podium positions. It's a hell of a race this was, Frankie, and I think Wayne Arendse rode the race of his life.
They would not want to stop this race from pit lane. I do believe they will be released the moment all is clear to let them go. I certainly hope so. But the rest of the bikes are beginning to line up. Here comes Nassif Smart. He qualifies the Yamaha while he will start on the front of the grid in P3. Just waiting for the marshals to release those four motorcycles out onto the circuit. They are anxious to get out onto the track. Riding into P4 was Dion Eerbal in the 21 bike. There's Michael De Toy that finished 8th overall, but P7 in class. And as the bikes are making their way onto the grid position, there Bolefo Ratlaghani on the 55. He sits there just on the inside of the number 7 of Michael De Toy. Zubair Adams rolling up with a 62, and in pole position the number 33, Mr. Wayne Arendse, the chairman of the WPMC motorcycle section.
Yeah, it looks like it, Frankie. They just have a few folks straddling. There are going to be pit lane starters. I see one of them have a bib on, so that will be one of the rookies. So it's about 4 pit lane starters. The marshals will keep them back there. They'll go on a separate set of lights. It'll be red over there. I see the number 2 position is currently open.
I will have a look at our monitor.
Alongside Wayne Arendse, I think we still need to just change the time screens.
Hasn't been changed by our lap scoring timekeeping section yet. Let's hope they get that one sorted out. These 4 guys do not want to start from pit lane, that's for sure. However, we'll have to see the moment we get underway. 5-second board. Lights are on and the lights are off. Well, what a lovely start once you get off the line there. Zubair Adams, absolute fly off the line by Zubair Adams. He is the master of getting off the line right. These 4 motorcycles get out of pit lane now. And let's look and see. That might have been one of the guys that would have been in P2 that's starting from the back. I don't quite know. But Zubair Adams had a fly off the line. Wayne Arendse is there in that second position, followed there by Dion Eerbal. That's a top 3. I see that dropping down 1 position into P5 is Nassif Smart. And he'll want to get back into P4 as soon as possible and join those 3 that's making their way up the KFM straight now towards turn 4, car care clinic, as soon as he possibly can. But out of turn 4, down the back main we go. It is Zubair Adams in P1, Wayne Arendse in P2, and Dion Eerbal in P3.
Well, it looks like Wayne Arons is coming back into the lead of this race. Dion Ebel having a good go at it as well. I think Dylan Crowdays might have been in that gaggle of 4 riders that was in the pit lane, and that's why the Ducati was not in second place on the grid. But Wayne Arons, who won race 1 from second on the grid, he now comes through to hold the lead of this race. Dion Ebel, Zubair Adams, and Michael de Toy. That will be the top 4 of this race as they go into turn 1 through KFM corner. And then what happens is the flags heavily waving there from the wind, but they'll then go onto the short straight before turn 2, and Wayne Arons looks like about a 0.3 of a second between himself and Ebel, with Adams holding up the third in the Suzuki.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping an eye on this whole lot. And yes, Crowdace was part of that group that started in pit lane. And he is cutting and carving his way through the field in that number 76 machine. But we go back now to turn number 3. As exiting turn number 3, heading up the KFM straight now towards turn 4, Car Care Clinic corner. The top 3 are working their way out of turn 4, down onto the back main. They'll come pretty soon. There we see them in P1. We've got Wayne Arons second is Ebel. As they are now running down the back main. Dion Ebel and Wayne Arons are side by side going down into turn number 1. Adams sits out there in that third place. And if I saw right, the number 7 machine of Michael de Toy was up there in P4 at one stage.
I think you may be right there, Frankie. We'll look at the timing screens as they come past across the line now. Arons, Ebel is on the outside of Arons as they go into turn 1. The fastest lap by Ebel, a 1:18.620 for him. Looking at also a little bit further down, Frankie, I see the Hilton Redlinger has had a bad start in the classic section, and that will be John Kosterman will be the man that will be ahead. But Dylan Crowdace is a 18.607. as a fastest lap.
Well, coming through now with behind Michael de Toy, that's Nassif Smart, and Sean Mackerel is also part of that group as well. That's making its way out of turn 2 through the kink they run now towards turn number 3. But out up front now, it's all about Wayne Arons, P1, Dion Ebel in that second position. They are running as hard as they can down into turn number 4, Car Care Clinic. Out of Car Care Clinic, that's a double right-handers, turn 4, working their way down the back main. Right there with him is Adams. Then we've got Smart. Behind Smart, it's Michael de Toy. And behind him, we have got Sean Mackerel as they race down towards turn 5, Fostron corner.
Zubair Adams, fastest first sector time on the Suzuki. Third place at the moment. Michael de Toy, 1.3 seconds off of him. But Dylan Crowdace at the moment is currently in 11th position after having put that fastest lap time in as they cross the line. Now, Arons, 0.08 of a second between himself and Ebel as the Kawasaki over the Honda. Adams, Smart, de Toy, Mackerel in 6th at the moment. And then Rattigan in 7th position. Crowdace, you pointed it out, Frankie, 9th position.
Yeah, 1:18.268 for Dylan Crowdace. He wants to cut and carve his way through the field. He did not want to start this race from a pit lane, but sadly had no choice but to do just that. I see Michael de Toy has been crowded there by Sean Mackerel as they work their way through the kink. Malefa Ratlagani is the next man in there, and he's quite some distance there behind Sean Mackerel as the leaders make their way through turn number 4.
Looking at the classic bikes, Hilton Redlinger is coming up from 18th to 12th position, and he now leads the class again. I don't know if John Kosterman is still in there. Clubmans Class B, Mitch Robinson currently leads that battle at the moment as they go now down to turn 5, Fastron corner. The leaders, I think, has the nose been put ahead there by Dion Ebel. Well, look when they come around now. Wayne Arons was 8/100ths of a second ahead of Ebel. They'll make their way around. Frankie, I think you see.
Dylan Crowdace is dissecting this field as they head down towards us. The leaders are making their way across the line, and here comes Dylan Crowdace. Dylan Crowdace has got his nose ahead there of Malefa Ratlagani. Dylan Crowdace has gone from nowhere, and he finds himself now in 17.337.
17.336 there from him as well, Frankie. Getting quicker as the race goes on. 3 laps down, lap 4 they are currently on at the moment. And you'll look behind them, you'll start eating in to the men in front of him. Sean Mackerel will be the next man, then Michael Detoy, Nashif Smart though, and Zubair Adams are looking at each other at the moment now as well.
Well, I'm watching them go through turn number 3, and Crodas is catching the combination of Detoy and Mackerel. Look at him go, he's right there on the wheel. Oh, so late on the brakes is Dylan Crodas. As they exit turn number 4, the leaders are making their way down the back main towards turn number 5. Detoy, Mackerel and Crodas as they head down the back main, and Dylan Crodas is the man on the move as they race down towards Fostron Corner, turn 5.
See them as they come through here now, Frankie. The gap between the two at the front was only 6/100ths of a second. It looks closer this time as they come across the line. Now Ebel will switch to the inside, but he's not close enough now to Wayne Aronser. Wayne will still hold the lead for now, but remember the battle between Wayne Aronser and Dion Ebel is allowing Adams and Smart to close up the gap.
Yeah, keep an eye on Mr. Smart sitting out there in a P4. He's also on the move. He's right on the back there of Zubair Adams as they head out of turn 2.
Nashif Smart's got a 1:17.315. That's the fastest lap of the race on the Yamaha, Frankie.
Nassif Smart, that's the man I was talking about, sitting out there in P4 through the kink. They race now towards turn number 3. Those 4 leading motorcycles working out of turn number 3. And look at the man out there in P4. Here he comes. And Nassif Smart up on the inside of Zubair Adams. And Nassif Smart says, thank you, sir. I'll take that 3rd place away from you.
They got to watch out here, Frankie. There's a slow-moving bike at the back of the field here as well. But it will be Wayne Aronser. They'll make their way past the lap runner. I think I'll take a look now who that is. But they'll go now towards Cape Town Corner 5. Of course, Fastron, number 5. As they make their way through there now. It's nose to tail. 5 laps gone. They're completing the 6th lap now. And there'll be 2 laps left to go after this one.
Well, it's as exciting as the first race, but you've got to keep an eye on the lap board this time. Byron as the leaders run down into turn number 1, KFM corner. As Dylan Crodas just ripping the world apart. He's gone up now to P5. If my facts are right, he sits in that 5th position now. Crodas should be up there in P5. Yes, he is. Dylan Crodas has done a last lap of a 1:18.433 and is moved up into P5.
Yeah, it's still a 5-second gap between himself and Zubair Adams as well there, Frankie. So it's going to be a bit of a tough ask for him to do any better than P5 in the 2nd race of the day. They come now through onto the Old Tygerberg Straight, the KFM Straight now, into what was called Malmesbury's, now Car Care Clinic number 4, as the cameras keep on that battle at the moment. Wayne Aronser still holds it ahead now, but for how long ahead of Dion Ebel? Dion Ebel always looks like he's going to make a move. Is he on the outside? Is he on the inside? I think there could be a change of lead. No, there isn't. I'm absolutely wrong. And they'll come now under the Mad Max Bridge to complete the penultimate lap of this race.
And to start their final lap, here they come down towards us right now. It is Aronser, it's Ebel, that is Smart, it is Adams, that's the first 4 bikes. Here comes Dylan Crodas, behind him, that's Michael Latoy, and Sean Mackerel, and Willem Binnedel. Well, it's the first time that we mentioned the man on bike number 25, Willem Binnedel, but keep in mind, he's on the Triumph 675 as Willem Binnedel.
Oh, well, it is Crodas that has put himself a 1:16.9. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. He's still 4 seconds off of Zubair Adams now. Zubair Adams 1.5 seconds behind Nashif Smart in that 3rd position at the moment. So what happens is it's been a valiant effort from Dylan Crodas, but it's not going to work for him, I'm afraid. On this very final lap that we are currently now, the leaders will be coming around. Wayne Aronser was a 1/10 of a second ahead of Dion Ebel when they crossed the line. They're going down the back straight now towards turn 5 Fastron corner. This will be the last gasp attempt from Dion Ebel to get past, but I don't think he's close enough.
Well, he's close enough, but he tried to make the move, as you say, but never made the move stick. The checkered flag is out, and we're waiting for the leaders to come down towards us now. We've got a back marker coming towards us. No, it's not. This is it. It's Aronser from Ebel in P1 and P2. Then it's Smart. Come across the line now. As here comes Crodas. My goodness, that was a quick one. Side by side by Nassif Smart and Zubair Adams, and it was Smart just ahead of Adams, followed by Dylan Crodas, Michael De Toy, Sean Mackerel, Willem Botha, Molefe Ratlagani. Those are the first 9 motorcycles across the line, and rounding off the top 10 is Robbie Padrika.
Let me tell you here, Frankie, what a race day for Wayne Aronson. I'm going to say to you this: not bad for a man with slightly more grey hair than Gary Fleming.
100% spot on with that one. Oh, that was brilliant. And I must also add that in 11th position and the first of the classics, and it's a double win for Hilton Redlinghuyse. John Kosterman finishing 19th, but second in the classic motorcycle section. Sure, what a race out there, man. 2 brilliant Clubmans A and B races, classics and breakfast bikes. Rich Robinson winning Class B from Hein Cruiser in that second position. I'll let you know now when the monitor changed who finished third there in Class B. Well, we'll be now already moving over. Well, the timetable has changed again, so we've got the super bikes coming up now. We're going to get all 3 bike races done. Sorry, both bike races done. And then we're going to do the cars. Understand that just in case you get oil or something down on the circuit, you want to get the guys on the 2 wheels done. So Gary Fleming will be joining Byron Height, Mike's side, for the super bikes, sponsored by South Motorcycles, race number 2.
Yeah, South Motorcycles, and always a great motorcycle racing culture here in Cape Town, in South Africa, as a matter of fact. And you always see them go out there with so much passion as well. Some of these guys, I think, are crazy as nothing else, but you know what? That's what we like around here, some good racing to come ahead from the Superbike guys and girls.
Well, that was Suzuki South, and they've changed their name now to South Motorcycles.
Check out the crease, blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the